mean a death.
So Onslaught did a ton of swapping. Dolly himself swapped to his mage, and it looks like they're still actually getting all their swaps worked out.
4 horsemen, let's go.
Wow, I didn't know he had a mage.
Just like I thought. I was anticipating Horde definitely swapping off of some warriors, but they were running more mages than I had anticipated beforehand. At the
This is it, man. 4 horsemen. Do you still have to have all the separate tanks when you're speed running?
You definitely do not want to be stacking these bosses. You don't have to be extremely deep prot or anything like that, but you do not want to stack these bosses. Okay. We're going to see them take them to all 4 corners, and before they separate them, we get sappers off on every single boss. That way we get as much damage off on all of the bosses at the very beginning of the pool as possible. Really min-maxing our AoE.
Thane is just getting destroyed. They will probably kill Thane before they have to move away.
Yeah, they might have no health.
So they can break.
Beautiful.
You can break the second shield wall if they DPS fast enough. By the way.
Yeah.
This is really well done so far.
Fuck.
So they're at 2 marks.
I need to know.
And that's the meteor we're talking about. If you move out at a bad time and you don't move with the group, guys, everyone in chat, you can die.
That's insane.
Thane is down before they had to move out. Only 2 marks, and Thane is already dead. So that was very, very clean.
Meanwhile, Onslaught is going into military with their swapped up raid.
Alright, there's the Mograine shield wall.
So Mograine's first shield wall, he'll probably only get 1.
And as soon as it drops, we are going to see him get melted and immediately move to the back 2 bosses, with the Void boss being probably the least scary. The White boss, the White Horseman, is a little bit scary for these melee-heavy comps because, again, that Chain Lightning ability is no joke.
Ooh, those execute crits, juicy.
Mograine's down.
Let's see if they do a split here.
Safe mode, we just need to get these dead without any,
As you can see, we have the casters go on to the White Horseman because the range of the Chain Lightning ability is 30 yards. So every single caster spec'd into the increased range talent is able to completely negate his ability 100%. So as we suspected, they are going for this split strategy where the melee are going to blow up Lady Blamo while the rangers start on the White boss.
So Onslaught's doing an invis skip right now. We're probably not going to be able to catch it, but they're skipping as much trash as they can with an invis pot at the beginning of Military Wing. So they had pulled a couple packs. Now they are down the staircase to the what is essentially the stables, and they skipped tons and tons of trash.
Progress, you can see, like Alive was mentioning, the melee are just moving out. They are not going to all move in towards the White Horseman for the fear of that Chain Lightning, and they're just going to drop stacks if they can.
Yeah.
Pulling up the Hunter POV. Oh wait, the Hunter's...
The Hunter is out of range, just attacking, but still getting the aura. So that's still something that he has to worry about.
You'll still get the aura, but you completely mitigate his actual ability. But from here on out, if you get to the last 2 bosses, it's just a matter of time. This is going to be a kill. We're not going to see any deaths here, as long as they play it safe like this.
You feeling pretty good about your boys here, Alive?
Well, I'm feeling pretty confident about the next few wings. I know we have some exciting skips that are kind of like the skips that Duran said earlier. We have some really exciting skips coming up, especially in the Plague Quarter.
Okay. We'll keep tabs on that. Let's check in on maybe Apes. We haven't.
Apes just lost people on Patchwork. Mataw's dead, Monkey News dead, Prefox, and Skooma.
Oh no.
Multiple deaths on Patchwork so far, and Patchwork's only at 45%. This is
a wipe?
This is terrible for them, in all honesty.
Oh my god, it looks like a wipe, dude.
Apes slipping on the banana peel.
So, Progress right now, it looks like are running back through.
Progress are skipping trash. So Progress are right now skipping trash. And we will probably, if we see them after this Apes wipe, they'll probably do either an Invis pot pull
on someone.
Or are they
Yeah,
gonna get
onslaugh's
this?
on Resuvius. Yeah.
On to you.
Doesn't look like it, right?
Apes is. They might get this, but they have lost a lot of people. Naru is evasion tanking right now. This
Isn't
is
he about to enrage right now?
This is
right
really,
as his evasion goes away. He's dead. 19%.
We'll need range.
This
so
is
that we
going
can
to
enrage
be
them.
Apes being count out of the world first run, in my opinion. There is no recovering from this point. Not unless
Yeah.
all of the other guilds also make mistakes of this caliber. But
Yeah,
this
we're
is
just going to see
probably going to
evasion
be the door
tanks
shut.
to try to hold off. Oh, maybe they won't even have it down. Let's see.
Zerg him. You gotta zerg
8%.
him. Everyone's gonna die when he enrages.
He said everyone's gonna die when he enrages. Oh, there it is. There it is.
And we see Progress probably going for a skip here in a second. A skip that we have not yet seen done on the other streams. Here we go. Yep,
Apes
they're
is
going in.
Okay,
down.
Going back, going back. We gotta see this skip.
What is Progress doing? Slimy
Swimming.
boys just taking a little
Huge
swim.
skip.
What the hell am I looking at right here?
So what a lot of people don't know is these different quarters and wings are actually connected by these slime
Connected.
pools. So you can bypass going all the way through the quarter by swimming through these slime pools. Now, are we going to see
Yo.
any deaths here, or is it going to be a clean skip? This is all up to the healers. They can't stay in here too long. They really have to move in. This is taking a lot of healer mana. But if they
They're
can
waiting
pull
on
off
a
the
path.
skip, it's going to save a lot of time.
Everybody's taking massive damage though, right?
No,
The pad is moving away. The pad is moving away. This looks... Oh. The health bars here are terrifying.
Oh.
Look at that.
So it's
and
a
it looks they
percentage,
made it safely.
right? All that ooze should be like it's a percentage drop in health.
No,
Correct.
some people died. Some people died.
That I have next Rams came in at a really bad time.
Yeah.
So the Eye of Naxxramas
Yeah.
does an AoE Shadow Bolt volley within the first 3 seconds that you pull him, and it looks like they pulled him a little bit too early before the healers were able to completely top people off from that ooze debuff. Not a good play from the Progress boys.
You hate to see it. I mean, did you still think it saved them some time though, doing that?
It does save them time, yes, but I don't know if it's going to be worth the mana lost and the res time that they have to deal with.
Wow.
It is a fantastic skip, and probably a skip that you're going to want to run in an ideal speedrun strategy. But once again, if that padding mob is in a bad position when you come to the other side of the ooze, as we saw there, it can be really, really punishing.
So we haven't seen a
they're
Noth
in
fight
on
yet.
Noth, the Plague
Yeah,
Bearer.
we'll be doing Noth here in a second. Or
This
no,
guy's not too bad, is he?
No,
No.
just gotta
No.
make sure you don't keep the curse off.
You gotta,
Decurse off.
you gotta decurse. These guilds are probably killing him before he teleports up onto the.
Oh wow, I thought that was the whole
Yeah.
thing. He teleports up and summons ads. You can just kill him before.
You can kill him before it. Yeah, he still does his little blink that can drop aggro, but it's not a mechanic that's intimidating.
Everyone drinks a Juju right before this boss fight to do maximum DPS.
Juju energy, bro.
Yep.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, there's the blink.
And Noth is getting absolutely destroyed. Their overall DPS is still incredible. We've seen so few deaths from Progress that they are really a contender for this world record.
And I don't think we've seen any of these top guilds have any clean runs with 0 deaths so far. I think we've seen a few people dropping on every single team.
Oh yeah.
Yep, for sure.
We go back to
Onslaught's about to pull Gothic.
Yep. They are getting set for Gothic right now.
With their different composition, what they actually have a similar or almost the same composition for the most part. It looks like most warriors that died or lost buffs swapped for mages so that other warriors could possibly come in, although we do see 4 warlocks here.
Yeah, their composition is a little bit different, leaning more towards casters a little earlier on. We were suspecting to see the casters later into the raid, but they might be going for more warlocks here for the carousel method. And a lot of people don't know what the carousel method is. And what that is a lot of times you'll see on Four Horsemen, people go to the center to drop their stacks. However, as a warlock, instead of going to the center to drop your stacks, you can do a carousel. You can run around the outside, outrange all of the abilities, and multi-dot all of the bosses as you're dropping your stacks. So that might be what they're banking on in trying to squeeze a little bit extra damage out on the Four Horsemen fight. As for this fight here, it's probably the most sleeper fight in Naxxramas since you're just waiting for ads to spawn until you get to the boss phase. But this roster change is most likely going to be suited for Sephiron min-maxing and for Four Horsemen min-maxing, but we'll find out here soon.
Yeah, and Rise is here as well at the exact same point. Apes is pretty much out of the contest, and Progress is moving towards Hagen.
Hagen, they're
Progress.
about to do the dance. It's prom night for Progress.
Did Apes end up wiping on that patchwork? I left it the last second because we were checking in on the
Yeah, I think they killed it, but they lost almost every single person.
Okay.
So right now, where we're kind of standing with different guilds and different wings cleared, just checking in with you guys too. I think Onslaught after this has Plague Wing left, if I'm not mistaken. Them and Progress are going to kind of flip-flop, right? So Progress is in Plague Wing, and they're going to have to... Or no, they went military already.
Here's Grizzly cranking through a Plague here.
So Onslaught's going to have Plague, which is the fastest wing, arguably. And I think Progress still has Spider.
I think so.
Progress does have Arachnid, yes.
Okay.
But Arachnid is a wing where you can potentially do an invis skip, and even if you don't do an invis skip, relative to the other wings, the trash is much, much easier.
Yeah, so I would venture to say, still, even though they're in different wings right now, I think Onslaught and Progress are pretty much neck and neck. Unless there's some sleeper out there that's as close to them, if not farther ahead.
I wonder, the CN guilds, you never know with that too, right? It's tough to cover them. But if anybody in the chat does know a bit about the CN guilds,
CN United played on private servers, and they're a team that started off really mediocre, but they came out as a powerhouse near the end of the server. They are no joke.
Progress just 150
as well. Really good.
we haven't checked in on Rise in a bit too. We saw them lose a few people on a
Rise
but
is. Rise is doing well. Also, they've got pretty much one wing left, so those are probably the front runners right now, at least from what we've seen. Onslaught, Progress, and Rise.
It's going to be interesting to see. So far, all of the guilds have gone for the safe play on the trash for Grand Widow Fairlina. It'll be interesting to see, with Progress leaving Arachnid Quarter as the last quarter, if they're going to play it safe or if they're going to play it dangerously, since they know that they have a lot of players that are losing Darkmoon Fair. They might go for the dangerous play and pull all of the trash mobs to try to pull ahead and get that lead.
let's check in with.
Progress is about to pull Lothab, and Onslaught's about to get Hagen, Gothic come down from the balcony soon.
They're DPS in Gothic now. They're going to kill him.
Yeah.
Once you get to Gothic, the fight's pretty much over.
Yeah, Gothic is... Once he's down, he has such little HP that you don't really have to worry about much. He can kind of fall over.
Like, he really doesn't do that much damage either.
Yeah.
Like, they got him down to, 12% before the gate even opened. And usually, the gate opens with enough time for the dead side to come over and help.
And unlike the other guilds, Progress is utilizing the mages on Lothab instead of the warriors, having ABN way at the top of the meters on Lothab. And Lothab is at 60% health. It's only going to go up from here.
Interestingly, though, ABN still is at pretty much the same DPS as the warriors from the other guilds that we saw.
Correct.
So it'll be interesting to see kill times, how they compare on Lothab with them utilizing the mage strategy. Kenny Marsh and ABM splitting these ignites here.
So you can see him running a timer at the top right there. 49 minutes so far since they started the run, I guess. How does that sit with you guys? 49 minutes to be where they are right now.
Well, I definitely lost in my 57 minutes, so...
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about my prediction.
That PS5 is coming your way.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
PS5, all of that sweet, sweet Juju energy.
Yeah.
And you are right, the mages are not pulling as much weight as they should here. Normally we should see a mage easily get 2k plus here, but it may be that they got a bad roll on Ignite, not having Ignite start exactly how they wanted it to.
Yeah, and I do think that Kenny Marsh is one of the people that went down on after that skip. But even then, all of the mages pumping the Ignite should be pretty massive. The Warriors are taking over, though, especially as we move into the execute phase.
So it looks like, courtesy of Duranosaur, we're going to get our eyes on a Russian guild, guys. Let's take a look at this.
Ooh,
Russian guild that has done the same wings as Onslaught and is ahead of them. I couldn't tell you how to pronounce this. Maybe someone can phonetically sound it out in the chat for us.
The hidden gem. Yeah. Maybe this is the guild to win it. Who knows? I mean, they do use a Dwarf Warrior, which is a big Chad move, as everyone in chat is well aware. If you play a Dwarf Warrior, you're not PvE Biss, but you are the biggest Chad in the raid.
Good to know.
Yeah,
good to
this
know.
is just one of those sleepers.
Look at the Thunder Fury relative to the Dwarf's body, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, with the Corehound Tooth offhand. Always a great offhand.
Go Russia.
Right?
Molten Core loot, best loot.
So this might be the front.
Hold on to it.
This might be the front runner.
I think they're actually.
They are behind Onslaught now. They are behind Onslaught now.
Okay.
Because they're coming in.
Exodus, guys. That rings a bell.
Onslaught is 4 horsemen.
Yeah, Onslaught just got 2 4 horsemen.
All right, let's do it. See how Onslaught deals with this. Wait, Dolly's on a mage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's on an
a mage.
unbuff. I don't know if he died on the mage or. Yeah, he died.
During the he got hit by a shout.
That's why he hit his stream or something, huh?
And I am getting a report in right now. Dying is actually not good for the run.
Breaking news.
It's a hot take right there.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief. Let's see how fast they can actually burn down Thane here compared to Progress. Thane should die pretty quickly. It looks like they're going very, very hard. They're going to be able to melt this one just about as fast as Progress did. And as we can see here, they actually have the casters focusing on it, which Progress did not. Progress had the casters opening up on Mograine, not on Thane. So they are committing more damage here to this boss to really commit to bringing him down quickly.
Mograine's
Mograine is there.
Oh no, is this it?
Is this the run? Killer.
I mean,
okay,
they've got one down. So they've got this whole front half of the room now, right? They can work around this. They can probably survive this. It's not going to be good for their overall speed.
They did take 2 aura stacks, though, from Mograine.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the play to come back to go straight to Mograine after this. I feel like this would have been a good opportunity for the casters to go and split off.
How did Mograine get pulled off? Oh, the tank died. That's what it was.
They're still most likely going to be safe, but they're going to have to play this much, much slower.
The second tank is
another
down.
tank die.
This is not good. They're playing it risky, and it is not paying off whatsoever.
I think they need
using
to just
a target dummy to taunt the boss until a new tank can get into position.
Wait, target dummies aren't just used in hardcore? I'm kidding. That's pretty cool, though.
So
I saw that on stream yesterday.
Okay,
This
so
is terrifying.
they had to get a tank probably from one of the other 2 remaining horsemen to come over and take over Mograine, because the tanks that were, I think, originally assigned to be there, I think all died.
Oh, chain lightning just...
no.
And that's it. That's the ability we were talking about before, guys. You want your caster DPS on this boss.
And Mograine is free.
DPS isn't going to be doing what they need to do if they're within the 30-yard range. The whole reason you want caster DPS on this boss is to abuse your range. If you're not abusing your range, you're going to wipe your raid team.
You hate to see it, man. You hate to see it.
I hate to see it.
This is a full wipe, yeah.
Is this the first full wipe? Yo, this is big.
Rise is on This is a full wipe. This is the first full wipe we've seen. Rise also on 4 horsemen right now.
Yo,
with
this is-
one down.
I told you guys there was going to be a wipe on bosses today.
So they're out of the race. Like they're not even
I
going to
mean,
be
oh man,
top
Onslaught.
3.
No, I didn't think it was going to be Onslaught, though.
Oh, you hate to see that, man.
Poor Sal. Fuck. That sucks. That's terrible.
I mean, I think that puts Progress at a very commanding lead right now.
Yeah, man. 12 minutes on
Rise
on-
is also up there with Progress right now. Progress right now is fighting a new Khan, and Rise is on 4 horsemen. So it depends on how clean Rise can do 4 horsemen. But Progress does have some skips coming up in the Spider Wing.
You think they know Onslaught Wipe? Look at all the Onslaught Wipe spam in their chat, dude.
Well, Rise still has another quarter to go, and Progress is in their last quarter, 1 boss already down. So I would say that they have a somewhat reasonable lead.
I think
Yeah.
Rise has to go to Spider as well, don't they?
Oh, if they do, then that is it.
I think that I think they are just that far behind.
Now, it is important to note that a lot of Progress is missing Darkman Fair, but even still, they have somewhat of a comfortable lead, so as long as they're safe here, they should be able to pull it out.
What about Exodus, though? It's hard to see where they started, right? This Russian guild. But you said they're pretty comparable to Onslaught. I mean, this might be their next contender.
So they're still on Gothic.
Yeah, they're a ways behind
They're
where
behind
Onslaught
Rise,
was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that currently the Forerunner is Progress, and then Rise.
Then Rise.
Progress,
Okay,
Progress might not even want to go for the whole pull of Grand Widow Fairlena's room, because at this point there might not be any point to even risk doing that pull in the first place.
Yeah, that would be, if that went wrong, that would be giving up the world first.
Correct. If they do go for the play, that is just a show of confidence in how good their Paladin players are at managing their pull time.
Yeah.
So we're seeing them do four horsemen here. Rise. This is what wiped Onslaught. Let's see how they handle with this.
They have, I think, 1 Warlock death right now. I think that's all they've. And they've
I
got
think
2 left.
Rise has this. It's looking like, unless they run in and chain that chain lightning or holy fire, even they should have this boss down.
It's a pretty fucking decently clean. It's pretty clean so far. Dom, I'm coming
He's saying
down.
it's pretty clean so far. Seems like he's happy with it.
Yeah, they're definitely. Progress is not doing the AoE.
They're going
pull.
for the safe pull, which I think is the wise decision here. However,
Yeah.
just because we see Progress in the lead doesn't mean they're going to get the world record. Noda is also a fantastic guild that I believe we don't have coverage of. So,
They are not running today.
I see.
Yes.
So really the only sleeper here could be a CN guild, but I don't know if
Gussie apparently has wiped as well, so it's Progress is in the lead as long as they play clean. They are in the lead. Very, very well done so far. This raid has been going incredible for them.
Any
And they-
human males in the chat?
He's saying Tetsu gets a lot of shit for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone in Classic WoW, when you go human, you go female human. That's just kind of the unspoken rule. But Tetsu, going for the full Chad human male warrior, is the outlier of the bunch. And he's starting a new trend. He's starting to make it more trendy to be male instead of female, just by himself.
So Rise is down 4 horsemen. They're porting back out. We'll double check here to see and make sure which wing they have left. But I'm pretty sure that it's Spider, which just puts them a ways behind.
So I know
Yeah,
it can
if
be a bit
it is.
confusing for everyone watching in the chat. It's nice to just take a step back. It seems like our front runner is Progress. Just at least that much we seem to have a handle of.
Yes,
Progress.
the
No.
Russian guild has yet to move towards 4 horse, or yet to get to 4 horsemen. So they are still quite a ways behind where Progress or where Onslaught was.
So Rise is going into Spider Wing. Man, I'm just. How many streams can we look at to see if there's anyone that's up there with Progress right now?
It is looking like, unless there is something that chat maybe help us out, if there's someone else that we're not paying attention to that is caught up this far, but currently it looks like Progress has taken a decent lead. And that allowed them to take this room very safe, keeping everybody's buffs, making sure that they didn't lose even a couple players, which will help them secure the lead moving forward in SAF and use less frost resistance. We will see the first SAF, and we will be able to tell how much frost res is being used.
And just for those joining into the stream now, we've seen an Apes wipe so far. So Apes is out of the running as far as the. Oh, what is this? The tab over to the Druid and Summon. Okay. An Apes wipe and an Onslaught wipe. And a Salad Baker's wipe too, right?
And Salad Baker's Dream State wipe before getting in or wiped on first trash, so is not running.
So we were wondering before the cast if we're going to see any wipes. We're seeing like most of the the AAA guilds wiping here.
And one of them was on bosses.
Yeah.
And instantly, everyone in chat is going to buy double the consumables that they thought they would need to bring. They're seeing all of these guilds wipe and lose players, and they are starting to panic. Quick, everyone, go buy more lips. Go buy more potions. Quick, before prices rise.
Everyone's shitting their pants now.
The stock market on the auction houses is just skyrocketing as guilds continue to wipe in next rounds.
The question is if SAF is a rough pull, then the auction house prices of frost protection pots are going to skyrocket even more. We will see how it goes today.
For real. Who's in the running, though? Let's try to find maybe second and third. We've seen some of these guilds that AAA, again, sort of be out of it. It's hard to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, so Rise is on a Numercon, so they're kind of like 1.5, 2 bosses behind.
And Exodus is moving towards Four Horsemen, and they have which wing left?
Here, I'll try to look up their guild name and see if I can't find them, if they're live logging.
And it looks like they're not going to go for the invis skip either, knowing that they have the lead.
Progress taking it pretty safe here, which is probably the smartest play. Although, even pulling this extra pull here.
Well, I think that this was just a mistake. It did not look like they actually planned to pull this here. It looks like someone got a little bit too close.
But knocking it out clean and still retaining their potential dominance. So really, really smooth next run from Progress so far.
It's another stream we haven't checked on before. Anybody here play on Pagel? We got Chains Law playing from Fully Rested. I have no idea how they're doing, but this was recommended to watch. Take a look at where they are.
So I think that Russian guild is farther behind than I was previously told.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Chains looks like he does not have world buffs, at least for him. But it looks like he is a tank with. So.
And it's if they're going into military wing right now, they've got a long ways to go.
Yeah, a tank with no world buffs is not good.
Is there any chance Onslaught can still place like first, second, or third? Do you think after that wipe, or is it pretty much GG?
I think there's a chance. I mean, there's a solid chance that Onslaught, all those people that died, they zone back in, they drop and reform the raid full of like mostly people with full world buffs, and they continue to give it a go. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're doing and if they're just jumping back in. But man, the time it takes to get back to Four Horsemen.
Is a lot.
Even that alone is setting them back really far.
Progress he's back on the Warrior with 2 hours of world buffs on everything. So I don't think he died on the Warrior, right? He must have just swapped over to the Mage.
He just swapped,
yeah.
What was that, Maldoran?
He swapped, and Progress is on max now right now, by the way.
Okay. Take a look. Let's take a look at that Hunter POV from Progress.
Progress just pulled an extra pull again for the second time and recovered really quickly.
Got some thick boys in Progress. They just
the second butt pull.
So, did it look like then that Onslaught just skipped Four Horsemen and they went straight into?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
So they're just going to leave 4 horsemen, and they'll get back to that later. They're just going to go and try to, I guess.
I don't know if there is
burn
another
down
way
Plague.
for them to swim up to close to 4 horsemen like Progress did. Potentially.
Apparently,
Here's
Apes
the
wiping
danger
again.
zone.
Do you
Are
guys
we
want
gonna
to see
any
Apes?
deaths?
Progress looks solid.
Yep,
Let's see
they're
what
about to
Apes.
come back
Apparently,
right
they're
now.
wiping again as we speak. We'll see. And Monkey News is dead. And the Keck W's are coming.
Okay, so Maxina is down.
Yep, now they're on the Saffron.
Ooh, interesting.
This
So
is
Time for one of the big boy bosses, the second to last boss in the dungeon, and this is probably one of the most dangerous bosses, just because a lot of guilds end up playing this greedy and going for as little frost resist as possible. So it could be interesting to
Tetsu
see.
is logging.
yeah, Tetsu's logging over to what
Tetsu is
looks like a
logging.
paladin.
So we are seeing roster swaps here, just like how we expected, swapping away from heavy DPS and moving for that more healer-heavy comp, especially with paladins, because as we all know, chat, paladins are exceptional with their mana conservation. With world buffs, with high intellect, they crit all the time, and
And
every
resist,
single
too.
time that they crit, they get all of their mana back. So bringing in paladins for these really, really long, healing-intensive fights, like Sephiron, like KT, are going to be extremely beneficial.
Isn't that frost resist so good here?
They're
too?
using quite a bit of frost resist as
Yeah,
well.
they are. I just saw the hunter put on like 6 pieces, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm looking.
So
I'm watching.
do you know, Alive, what the base frost resist they are looking towards?
So, as caster DPS, we have between 100 to 135, depending on what pieces we have. And as melee, it only goes up from there around 150 to 160. But again, don't take this as what you guys should do in everyday guilds. This is because we have faster kill times and we still have our world buffs. So even though you see some of these players going for lower frost resistance, that's only because the kill time is quick.
Rise is losing half the raid, potentially wiping on Faralina trash right now.
Oh no.
I forgot about
Rise
They've got-
went for a big pull on Faralina, and it did not work.
Yeah, they're gonna
for
wipe
them.
here.
So here's Tetsu over on his paladin. He has full world bust on this guy. Songflower, everything. That's pretty juicy.
And as you can see here, his mana bar right above his healer health, or right above his player's health, it's going to barely move. Went 98 straight back to 100% because he received a critical strike. And what a lot of... Oh no, are we going to... Oh no.
Oh no. The rogue didn't actually die, just almost dead.
that was almost
He got
Wonder
a
if-
free death proc, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Rise, full wipe. I don't even know who's in second place now.
And look at this
Don't
mana
either.
conservation here. Absolutely crazy. Paladin's busted class.
Yeah, they are. They are. As a shaman, they are definitely busted.
they all went to like 20, 10, 20%.
Man, so I mean, I guess we're looking for other streams, other people that are on SAF. This is kind of like the
13
great clarifier.
heals.
And what a lot of people don't know about Paladins is every single caster class in Classic WoW needs approximately 59.5 intellect per 1% crit. However, Paladins, who probably benefit the most out of from crit out of any caster in the game, instead of 59.5 intellect for 1% crit, they only need 30 intellect, literally half, making the class absolutely crazy for mana conservation. So if you were to compare this to a Horde guild, just because you have Paladins alone, you could go with 1 or 2 less healers in an Alliance team compared to a Horde team just because of this mana conservation.
Wow, that's so cool.
So Onslaught's on Lotheb. They still have to do 4 horsemen.
Onslaught has 7 mages for Lotheb. And 5 warlocks. 7 mages, 5 warlocks for Lotheb.
Do you want to
I
go
wonder
to
if this
Lotheb, or
is,
do you want to
if
finish
they're
up the
just
SAF fight?
Yeah, they're just set up for Saf at
Mhm.
this point.
Lost a few on Saf, but I think they're okay.
Yeah, 2
Seems
down
okay.
so far, 59%. It is looking decent. It is looking good for progress so far. But again, there are little things that could go wrong, especially on this last quarter. this last wing, there are little things that could go wrong. So we will see how they play. They have focused on playing safe, though, so far, which is really, if they play safe, this is their race to lose.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they know they're in the lead, right? So that's going to affect.
And we see a Petri flask way off in the distance back there. You guys see the guy off to the left?
Standing there.
He wasn't quite sure if he was going to make it to the ice cube in time, just because the ice cube's positioning was a bit far away from where he was, and oftentimes a blizzard can spawn between where you're standing and where the ice block is. So that's why we bring these petrification potions. If you're not sure that you're able to make it to safety in time, you pop that flask of petrification to ensure that you will not die to the ice fall on this one.
And nothing can kill you through Petri. It's like you can just avoid a mechanic, no matter what it is, kind of.
You are safe.
Oh wow!
Also, rogues can vanish that ability as well and just stay in and DPS the boss. It's risky, but it's definitely doable. Rogues can vanish that. So vanish batching, have fun, my boys.
And it is important to note those frost resistance values that I had mentioned at the beginning of this fight, that was the unbuffed frost resistances that we go for. That's not including Juju Chill. That's not including Paladin Aura. So with Paladin Aura and Juju Chill, they are pushing 200 or a little bit above 200.
It's making me rethink our strategy a little bit.
Damn, Alive, your boys might take it, man. You guys have to understand, chat. I'm Alive is part of this guild right here. He's an active raider in progress. It's cool to have him on the desk.
Actually, I was one of the people who made this guild and came up with the guild name back on the private server days.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I came up with the name Progress. We were the top guild at the time, but we didn't want to have a name that sounded cocky because we already had a lot of people that hated us. So we went with Progress because even though we're the top, at least we were at the time, there's always still room to improve. We're never doing the best.
Love that. You see most of the rogues, or some of the rogues, swapped over to warlocks or mages, and including a mage on top of the meters was a rogue.
Saffron is about to go down.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, no one is even close to getting to
Yeah.
Seth.
Is this it, boys? Are we about to be there?
This is it. Moving
Yo.
towards KT. Race
Did we
to
even
Wolfers.
look at-
Claw of the Frostworm also. Massive drop.
Let's check in with other people real quick before they get to KT.
Oh.
Let's see.
So Onslaught's on Lotheb. He's at about 23% left.
There are some deaths.
There are some deaths.
Dahoon.
Oh, their
the
tanks
main
are
tank
gone.
just died.
Oh, no.
17%. People are now taking a lot of... They are going to eat a lot of deaths. It's going to be hard for anyone to pull aggro. Dali grabs the Spore to make sure that he does not pull any aggro because he is one of the few with world buffs. They need him to stay alive, although he may have wanted to try to tank.
Substantial. Rogue must just be evasion tanking.
Evasion tanking.
I mean, he's holding on to it for a long time. He might... It's so close. There's so much damage going out, though. Dolly's getting another Spore.
The way they can do it would be to have the Rogue's evasion tank. I think they are going to... Yeah, they are going to down it.
They're going to get it, yeah. Jeez.
Risky. Very, very intense fight.
Meanwhile, Progress is at KT.
Progress has walked into KT's spawn point, so Progress is officially on Kel'Thuzad.
As
Chat,
long
not
as
running.
You guys go
KT
scout for
goes
anyone.
smoothly, we can't let any skeleton inside the ring. We can't let any A-bombs cleave down everyone. Just as long as everything is done properly, safely, and cleanly, this should be Progress finishing it out.
There's got to be another guild on Saf at least at this point, no?
It's hard to say.
All of the expected frontrunners are quite a bit away now. Let's see what we have.
It's tough because unless you're a guild that has, a full second raid of world buff people, it just slows you down so much, having to res and rebuff and then try to do all this trash, all these bosses without any world buffs.
Yeah. So we're looking at it potentially, guys. We're looking at the world first attempt right here. The first one. This is history in the making right here of classic World of Warcraft. The first full clear of Naxxramas.
diving through Twitch to see if I can find someone in the race.
If they were on SAF, they'd have a ton of people, right? So it doesn't. I don't
Yeah.
See,
I don't see
it's-
anyone near.
Unless there's a sleeper out there, like it's,
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, there's a Chinese guild that's streaming
Yeah.
a Chinese streaming service.
right.
I mean, CN United is really a strong guild, so it wouldn't be surprising if there was a guild out there not streaming or in a different streaming service that pulls
Yeah.
out in.
Yeah, it would come out of nowhere, but we would definitely be able to see it. They like to go for these really crazy pulls. The Chinese guilds come up with some incredible strategies, like teleporting all the way from Bug Trio to Viscidus.
Yeah, if anyone in chat like happens to have a link to CN United or Noobs or one of those guilds, it's hard to find their streaming services even.
Yeah. So this part of KT is a pretty standard part. Like we watched earlier, they are just having their mages focus down the Weavers or the Banshees, and like hunters in range killing the skeletons before they can get in. Nobody is using aim shot. So if there's anyone watching, or no, multi-shot. If anyone's
Multi-shot.
watching, hunters, you will pull a ton if you use multi-shot.
Multi-shot is very dangerous here. If
Very
you pull
bad.
one of these hallways, that's pretty much just a wipe there. And we also had one swap as well. We had one of the rogues swap over to his warlock because we had a little bit too many melee for this fight.
So they are handling this part of the fight very well. This is not the scary portion, but it is looking like they are going very, very powerfully. We have to wait until phase 2, but progress is quite far ahead of everybody else right now. What is the timer?
Looks like it went away. Now they switched characters, right?
Yeah.
He had one running.
Well, if we assume
2
it
o'clock?
started an hour and 21 minutes ago, then
Yeah.
that's about where we're at. Man, that hour 30 guess is looking really good.
It's looking
Pretty
really good right now.
I mean, that's a pretty impressive time, man. Considering that they don't have Nax gear, right? They didn't have the full value from EMF buff.
Onslaught is now moving towards the 4 horsemen, but they have to pull all the trash that they skipped earlier with a invis pot. So they are gonna take a lot of time to get back to 4 horsemen. It is Progress's fight to win here.
Yeah, I don't think it's even close at this point.
And really, it's going to come down to the next few phases, because if you compare this to Lightbringer, and I know a lot of guilds out there are practicing on the Lightbringer PTR core, the phase 1 ads that we're seeing here are much, much more difficult on that PTR than what they are on Classic Live. These ads actually die quite quickly on Classic Live. So for all those people out there that are going to be progressing through Next Ramus this week, the ads here are really not that big of an issue as long as you guys are focusing down the right people. What's really going to be the hard part is phase 2 and phase 3.
And KT is going to be moving in a second. There we go. Phase 2 is starting right now. Cleaning up the final ads as Kel'Thuzad does his little RP.
There he is. He's in action.
There.
100% to go.
It's just execution.
Everyone alive.
Just
Pure
positioning.
execution now.
Staying calm. That's all this part is right here. Just stay calm.
You can see the kicks announced. There are kick groups here, and melee are spread out into 4 different positions so that they do not freeze each other in those ice blocks. There's one Weaver still alive, and there are the first 2 mind controls. First, all of the mind controls, but that was picked up very quickly.
Look at the is that a slumber sand or poly hibernate? What is going on there,
This
man?
is where we're going to start seeing magic dust start being used by everyone in the raid.
Yeah, basically anyone who can do anything to help CC those mind controls until they get polymorphed is going to be massive. Because once every one of those guys that gets mind controlled, they do insane amounts of damage, and if any of them are healers, they heal Kel'Thuzad for also just a ridiculous amount. So you want to CC them immediately, whether you're a mage or anyone else in the raid.
He said so far so good.
Smooth, very smooth right now.
Paladin's making it look smooth, man. I swear.
63%. Are you guys running any frost resistance on KT or just going full pump?
So it's not really that necessary. The AoE Frostbolt is a binary spell, so you don't have any chance to partially resist the spell if you put on frost resistance. Putting on frost resistance will only slightly increase your chance to full resist the spell, but it's impossible to partial resist, making frost resistance a little bit less useful on this boss compared to the other boss.
We had 2 drop, but seems to be going smooth anyway.
Yeah. A mage, possibly 2 mages?
Might have been a threat transfer during the mind control.
I think that's what it was, yeah. Oh, they battle resed him. Or at least one of them. I think they have 13 or 14 healers with this current comp.
Yeah, they're running pretty heavy on healers. It was 13 on Saf, which I was
Champions
saying
are
the
out.
same. We're going to see the shackles going out, and as well as some being picked up. Big heals out. Hodge there, very clean. This is probably the scariest portion of the fight, where you've got the ads as well as the mind controls, but you can see everything sleeping with those those sands. So it's going very well.
Yeah, third shackle to come out here, but I don't know maybe it's not happening.
Magic Dust is super important here because you're not going to have a mage in every single position possible. So having that Magic Dust to kind of take over the MC target assignments if they're not near a mage is going to be very, very helpful, in addition to managing all of the other mechanics that the boss has.
Kel'Thuzad is down.
5%.
He's down. Easy.
5%, 4%, yeah.
And
That
there
is it. World first. World first.
Congrats.
Congrats
Alive?
and progress. Well, I guess
Huge
nothing
grats,
is.
Jeez.
progress. Alive, grats. Thank you for being here with us. And they got a slave maker drop.
Nice,
Ooh.
nice.
Are you-
Big
you-
hunter loot.
You can spill the beans now, Alive, on all the juicy secrets, man. Everything you've been keeping from us. You can go ahead and tell us all now.
Yeah, the real speedrun strategy is to bring 20 hunters. We just didn't want to let people know.
I got you.
We're keeping that in our back pocket.
Man, congrats to you and the boys.
Yeah, that is all amazing.
Well, let's try to see who's going to be in second place here.
Onslaught's
Looking.
back on 4 horsemen. You actually have Salvador tanking because he's still
he
got
has the
world
world
buffs.
buffs. Yeah. Rise is on my Exna with a couple deaths, but should be done.
They might be the first, or I guess the second
Ooh.
guild to get to Saf.
Unless they wipe here, actually. My Exna is enraged and killing everybody
Which
during
one
the
is that?
freeze. Rise.
On Rise, okay.
I think they're wiping here on my Exna at like
You hate to see it. they're in the top three.
5%. This is scary. Now they have the ad spawning.
This
Wow.
looks like the first full wipe we've seen on this boss. We've seen a few,
Yeah.
but not a full wipe.
Yeah, I mean this might be the first time we've seen a guild attempt it without any world buffs as well.
Hate to see it. Rise down. We've
So
seen
that like
Down.
that kind of plays into what we were talking about earlier about leaving Spider Wing as the last wing. Just because, if you've lost world buffs, if you've lost people up until that point, it should be the easiest one theoretically to get through. And even then, it kind of comes back to what we've been talking about all day. This whole raid is is on a different level. And world buffs, which were in previous tiers, just something that, added to the cap of what you're able to do with speed, with damage, with healing, with everything. With Nax, I mean, there's a lot of fights, especially before you actually get Nax gear on your characters. Those world buffs can be the difference between you living and dying. They're no longer just like an added bonus to your speed. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. That is crazy. So looking back on the past World First events we've done, right, for BWL, for ZG, I've never seen one so far where you've had this many wipes from the top guilds. It's more of, just how fast they can get it done, right? This is pretty... I mean, how are you guys feeling about that? Is that,
Well, like we said before, if you look at the mechanics in Blackwing Lair and AQ40, if you mess them up, it's going to be bad for your raid, but you can heal through it. There's ways to recover, and you can keep moving on. But in Naxxramas, a lot of the different mechanics that we see on some of the trash, the bosses, etc., are so penalizing that you just immediately have a death, if not more.
Yep. These are the best players in the world, man, and we're seeing full wipes. We're seeing...
Especially after world buffs, they are struggling on these bosses when they do not have world buffs, and like you were just saying, the best players in the world that have practiced all of these.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Onslaught, I think they're going to get 4 horsemen down, but Dolly died a ton of... half the raid's dead right now.
So we're checking out another stream that we haven't seen at all. This is Taiba TV. This is GM of Praxis, rank 14 warrior, and apparently these are one of the front runners as well, or they're up there. I don't know if there's any way to deduce where they are in terms of progress. It looks like they're in the military quarter right now.
Apes is on Saf.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So
Apes with the first big wipe to come back, maybe going to take the second one.
Yeah, I guess they didn't fully wipe, right? It looked like Apes kind of like half wiped on Patchwork. So
I mean, the fact that they actually killed Patchwork, even though you lose, 30 plus people on the fight, man, if you actually wipe fully and have to redo Patchwork without world buffs, that would have been so much worse, just exponentially worse. It looks like, they're just prepping for Saf here. Who knows if they're aware that after they almost completely wiped on Patchwork, now they're in second place.
Yeah. See how they do with it. Apes, a seasoned private server guild, been around for a long time. They've killed Saffron probably dozens and dozens of times.
But since they all have no world buffs, they're going to have to go really heavy into frost resistance here.
Yeah.
You can
frost
see here,
res.
double trinket, double ring. He's wearing a few green items even. Frost resistance is going to be really, really important since your kill window is going to be much, much, much longer.
They only have 12 healers, so I think they're running 1 or 2 fewer healers.
One less. Do you have the log from your guild alive?
Let me pull it up and see.
That is, huge grats, by the way. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful
Do we need to confirm time on that?
Oh, yeah. We do. It looks like Apes, yes, second right now. Onslaught, a lot of people died to 4 Horsemen. I didn't see if they actually killed it or if they wiped on 4 Horsemen again. And Rise wiping on Myexna. They're about to pull Myexna again.
A lot of them on one side now.
But Apes here, the first guild we've seen doing Saf with no world buffs.
Yeah, they've already got 3 dead.
Already. 3 down.
He's calling for the Petri, heard that?
If you are out of position and you do not Petri, you are griefing your guild at this point.
They've got so many people going down. It's just, without... The big thing with world buffs, and I don't know how many people really think about this, but for everyone, even outside the tanks, the amount of extra HP you can get just on every person, just to help soak all the extra damage that goes out, especially on fights like Saf, like, it ends up being such a big deal.
I mean, so imagine if there's no world buffs allowed in raids, like if Blizzard did make that and implement that. hypothetically, I mean, this would be rough, right? This would be rough.
This would definitely be a lot harder. All raids would be a lot harder, but especially Nax. This is pre-Nax gear. It is a struggle, and Saf is a hard one even more so because you don't have that Frost Res gear we were mentioning earlier. So that is a full wipe on
Cargo.
Saf.
I did end up linking the logs into the Discord. I don't know if they're private or not, but if they're not private, you're more than welcome to pull them up.
Okay, I don't know if you can check it somehow with your guild. I don't want to reveal anything.
No, I mean private.
They are not private. They are not private.
Oh, I see. You can just okay.
If it opens, it's good, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like. Well, no. I'm trying to see timing wise.
Let's see if we can get over to it.
My internet's just slowly. There we go.
I think there's probably so many people trying to open these right now.
Yeah, Gnome Boy destroying at the overall DPS, 838 overall DPS. And the mages are very high up on these meters. So, and actually, you're actually seeing hunters up on these meters as well, which even with the swaps, that is pretty big. So these hunter buffs.
It's nice to see hunters doing better.
Yeah, look at the overall damage taken, though. As we get it pulled up on here, we will see the overall damage taken. The Frost Aura was by far the most damage that the raid took. By far.
All right, here we go. So we have it up here. Should we go to rankings, encounters, rankings?
Encounters and trash.
Encounters and trash.
right up
and
top.
trash fights. There we go.
Rise is now working on Saf too. So, and it looks like they're probably going to pull on their first attempt before Apes gives it a second go.
You might have to reload the page for the full summary. That's what I had to do.
It's looking like they got around 1 hour 21, 1 hour 22.
So,
It's taking a minute.
who
There
was
might be
the
a lot of people
closest?
It's if it's above 120, then Tyrannosaur is definitely closer than me.
What did you say?
Oh,
This
Carlos
is
at
115.
115.
115.
I said 115, yeah. All right, here we
Buy
go.
yourself a nice PlayStation 5.
Yes, dude, rigged. So here, this is a lot of data here. We're looking at the Nax World First log. What are we looking for?
So we can see here that they brought in 2 extra warlocks at the very end, which means 2 of the melee ended up swapping to bring in 2 extra warlocks. Exandro and Nilash were subbed in at the end.
And as well, I don't know how it's pronounced. Fienzi also went to a mage from Rogue. So that was another swap that happened right before Saf.
I will link these logs to the chat as well, since they're public. It's some people might be interested, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then look at the damage taken from everyone. Just melee and Frost Aura, but just so much damage taken from Frost Aura. That is from Saf. That is just... Without world buffs, that is going to be a hard fight, and most guilds are going to see significant struggle here. This is where we're going to see like the first real progression, and we'll probably see that even today, as we just saw with Apes.
Wait, so this is overall damage taken from the entire raid, factoring in all trash, everything, and the one boss's Frost Aura made up 18% of the entire damage?
It is, a lot of damage.
Because melee is every single right click from every single mob and boss and everything, right? This is...
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit, dude. That puts it in perspective for you. Frost Aura is almost the entire aggregate of all physical melee right clicks of the entire dungeon.
And really, that's just because all of these other abilities, even the melee, are only hitting a select few people. Like Aura of Agony could be hitting multiple people from the military quarter of the Horsemen, the Horsemen trash. But even then, they die so quickly that you're really not taking that much. However, Frost Aura is a debuff that is always going to hit everyone on your team every few seconds.
Oh, they're wiping again.
Unavoidable.
Yeah. Apes is going down again. It looks like Rise is also going to wipe.
Yo, Saf slaps.
Saf is going to be the the differentiator. This is absolutely going to be the hardest boss to take down without world buffs.
For certain.
This boss is terrifying.
Yeah. Alive, could you give us a number on Frost Resistance again that you guys are running? Just I mean, for my own personal reasons, I'm wondering as well, but I think the chat does.
Okay, so like as a warlock, for example, we went with double rings, trinket, wand, cape, belt, and then we went for 5-piece tier 2.5, demonic sacrifice, void walker to help our healers. But between the casters in general, we wanted to go for around 100 to 135 unbuffed, and our melee, I believe, was going for 150 to 170 unbuffed.
Okay, and healers?
Yeah.
Healers, it's less useful for, because for a paladin, for example, you're getting so much healing output and also mana generation by gearing properly that it doesn't really outweigh the damage that you were to take if you were to, or the damage mitigation that you would have saved yourself by wearing extra frost resist pieces. So out of all the different classes, it's least important to wear it on a paladin and on a healer in general for Alliance side, just because if you look at the damage that you would have mitigated from wearing it on that specific person, it doesn't outweigh the mana usage and the mana efficiency that you would have gotten from just wearing a plus heal item or a raid healing item with int, crit, plus heal, etc.
So here's the next Remus progress on Warcraft logs. We got progress at the top. Gussie, shout out to Goldmag EU, 13 out of 15. I don't know if we saw a perspective from Gussie. We got the Exodus Guild, the Russian guild. We checked in with them, and then we also checked in with Fully Rested on Pagel. Yeah, those are the guys. They didn't have world buffs on.
We've Risen from my server. White Man Risen. All Alliance guilds up there. Well, Onslaught is already on. Onslaught's on staff.
Staff, yeah.
So that is slightly outdated. The big thing will be who can kill Saf next. That is going to be. There's going to be a lot of guilds here getting to Saf very shortly. So the big question is who's going to be able to bring Saf down without world buffs.
Okay, let's check on.
So it looks like Dolly is benched for Saf. So he's actually just watching this from Faye's perspective. So Faye is the GM. He's the raid leader. He does everything for Onslaught.
We need another perspective here. Let me get another Onslaught perspective.
And
Faye
Rise
doesn't
and
stream, though.
Apes
That's the
both
problem,
wiped again. So Rise,
Rise is sitting here. It looks like rebuffing, getting ready for another pull.
Okay, we got my man Ale. Shout out to Ale. Yo, Ale's still in there. Melderon on staff right now. Hell yeah, let's see if they can get it.
Gotta love him.
This is their first attempt, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see another guild that has world buffs for this boss. A lot of the guilds have been losing their world buffs before they get here, or even on this boss. So it's nice to see another guild keeping their world buffs up to this point.
Well, this is Onslaught, right? This is Ale.
This is.
I bet in this raid they just brought as many people with world buffs as they could. That were just mains that were out or alts or whatever they could.
Look at that. Ale died earlier. He might have gone back to grab a couple buffs.
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that Saf health bar just slowly go down. 3 million hit points.
So there's just.
It's definitely a battle of attrition for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a long fight.
So does I assume Horde have a harder time with Saf, right? Because they don't have the pally resistances. I mean,
mana too. We do have totems.
We have
totems, but it's just mana is.
Isn't the pally one more though? Doesn't it give you more?
No, it's the same. 60. The order 60. The totem 60.
Oh, okay.
Like he said, we don't have illumination as shamans, right? So we don't get any mana refunded. If we crit, so.
Yeah, shamans have really, really high healing output, but they're not as good mana efficiency wise.
Gotcha. Been pretty impressed with the performance of mages though in Extramus though. I feel like on every fight we're seeing the blue boys up there.
Yeah, Ignite is a very balanced talent.
That's why they decided to share it on the logs. Imagine if you were how angry some mages would be if only that one mage got the log from the Ignite. Like that 8k DPS was just him. Oh,
Don't get the mages in my guild started about how they decided to do that, though. That's one of those conversations. As soon as it starts happening in Discord, everyone leaves the channel because it ends up just being like 3 mages like talking about how they were wronged
for hours. That was
yeah.
phase 3. We saw a mage do like 4,000 DPS on Chromag because it was before that. Oh, this is going really well for Onslaught actually.
Yeah. They could still potentially
Pretty
clinch a top 3. I'm gonna keep refreshing Warcraft logs. You never know, right?
Yeah. So Apes, they have Saf at 74%. They've got 3 people dead.
Imagine Onslaught taking it above Apes. That'd be
There's those Petries as we see. 2 people down here.
So it looks like there's 3 guilds on SAF right now, chat. There's Guzi, Gussie, there's the Russian guild Exodus, and
We also have Rise is here on SAF. I would anticipate quite a few guilds are now getting to SAF.
It looks like they're finishing off the boss quite cleanly. They're doing pretty well.
Yeah. Onslaught's looking good. Rise is at, looks like maybe 60% with 3 dead. Apes is at 64% with 3 dead.
It is looking like Onslaught Forerunners here.
After everything, after wiping and then coming back and they almost wiped on Lotheb, they almost wiped on 4 Horsemen a second time.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
It looks,
congrats to
boom,
Onslaught.
they're going to be the second guild, I think, to even get into KT's room.
That's a win for NA right there, right? Come on now, where's the NA at?
Yeah, gotta give him credit for the dedication because a lot of guilds would have just said "fuck it" screw it after that first one. So
Well, after all the preparation that you put into this, just to go and have a complete wipe is extremely demoralizing. So, yeah, hats off to them for keep pushing through.
For sure.
It
I don't see
looks
it
like
updated
they're
yet.
going for that world second.
Let's go. Come on, Onslaught.
As long as they can have a clean round on KT, they can take it.
Yeah, Rise is wiping again on Saf. Apes is at 42%. They now have about 6 people dead.
Oh, let me go to them. Yeah, let's take a look at Apes. So Apes and Onslaught fighting for that number 2 spot.
If Apes can keep this clean, right? If they can get Saf down, then it might be close. And also, I mean, it depends on if Onslaught can just one-shot KT.
Is Gussie? Where's Gussie on?
I can't find a stream for a Gussie.
40% health left on the boss, and half the raid is dead. This is looking like another
That is-
wipe. They cannot recover from here.
Yeah, Apes is going down again.
yeah, you can't complete SAF with that many people dead. There's just
No chance. There's just no chance.
Your healers just will not have enough mana to finish off this fight, no matter how well you play.
Even on Warcraft logs, it usually shows that people are streaming. Doesn't? Oh, 1 player streaming from Gussie. Okay.
Where are they at?
Wink. 60 gnome warrior.
Let's see. There is a lot of struggle out here on this boss, Saf. This is, like we expected, the real gatekeeper of the raid.
You feeling terrified, Mildron?
a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Meldon,
check it
you're
out.
staring at the screen, and it looks like you're just thinking, oh man, we're going to wipe to this boss, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like, we downed it. We downed an official PTR, but that was 200 free frost resistance, right? And 50% healing bonus. So it's like, it's kind of gimped, right? At that point. So,
Got another perspective. Look, here's a Gussie stream. Nick for the win. Gold Mag EU. Let's see how this is looking.
So yeah, they're on Saf. It looks like 60% with 3, 4, 5 deaths. Oh no, people are dropping.
Is he going to be able to make it before the bomb?
Oh, Petri. I saw it that time.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
That was a close call.
Yep. Couldn't make it to the ice block. Goes a couple 100 gold.
Yeah. I mean, it's the race, man. It's the race.
True.
Repopping that Distilled Wisdom too, the most expensive mana pot you can buy.
Let's see if they can close it out.
Onslaught is doing phase 1 right now, just killing the random mobs, the random KT trash.
Here's the logs, by the way, chat. If anybody wanted to see the world first Naxxramas logs, here they are. Where you at?
Sarth, are you muted again?
Oh, Progress used 27 petrifications. Gnome Boy, the one who did the most DPS, the warrior with the most DPS, used 6 himself.
Mm-hmm.
So just play it safe, keep your buffs, and you can limit tests. Not that many Distilled Wisdoms, only 8 used in this entire raid.
How's Onslaught doing on KT?
Onslaught is doing well on phase 1.